that was like mowing the lawn at 9:00 on July 4th?
Probably. I don't like to poke my head out because all my neighbors are
Nowadays,
weird.
in the last week, you just don't even look at your neighbors because they might shoot you.
I think that's been a thing for like ever.
A long time, yes. But
yeah.
Never an epidemic of just like, get off my lawn, pow, pow, pow.
Yeah, definitely don't knock on their door when you're looking for their siblings because that's really
I actually
disgusting.
had a story similar about that at work, but I'll save it for off the mic because
okay.
I don't like to talk about work in my free time.
I feel you.
No one does. No one does.
That's fair.
Speaking of free time,
yes,
this is the news that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about this last week, but we didn't.
Okay.
You guys obviously have been cooled down a little Star Wars, but they released like the next phase of Star Wars movies, and I'm pretty excited about it because they're not just doing the same old anymore. I mean, they're still doing the same old. It's gonna be a movie, but they got what's the guy's name? What's the dude that directed Logan?
You're literally the guy who tells us the names.
James Marigold is doing. James Marigold is doing a biblical epic of how the Jedi started, which I think is going to be great because he's awesome. They're finally giving Dave Filoni a movie where he's doing the end of the Mando verse, which is great. They're bringing back Daisy Ridley for a Jedi Academy movie, which I'm
here for that.
Yeah, here for it.
Only thing that I want as a fan for me is I just want, because I know John Bodega is like, I'm done with Star Wars. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. Y'all can throw as much money as you want to
recast him.
Back. No, just be like, yo, Jedi Master Finn is out doing his own thing.
Yes,
I just want one line, and that's it. And I'll be
just
fine. I'll be happy.
Yeah.
I'd rather just recast him so we can have a black dude in it.
Oh, they can recast him as
We'll get a light-skinned black dude to play him, since it'd be reverse of right, there you go.
Man. It's like Finn. It's like, it's a Star Wars. Who cares? I mean, Jonathan Majors will be looking for a job pretty soon here, so you never know.
I don't think Disney will pick him up.
No. They're definitely going to fire him, and they're going to probably recast him with another light-skinned black dude too.
Right. Well, I heard they were looking for, like, I don't know if y'all watch Snowfall, but the main character in Snowfall, they were looking. I heard they were looking around him to possibly,
what's his name? Like, his last name.
Two dark-skinned black guys look alike, so you just shift it over, and no one knows it.
No one will never notice. No one noticed between Terrence Howard and Don Cheadle.
Nobody, like not a single person. I didn't even realize until we mentioned it on the show.
Yeah, I mean, hell, Don Cheadle thinks he's in Iron Man 1. He didn't even know. He
doesn't even know.
Okay, but for real though, Gwyneth Paltrow doesn't know any movie that she was in, in the MCU. Like, she literally has no clue. Like,
Gwyneth Paltrow is the one with the gunk. But she has
goop.
Yeah, goop. So yeah, she's completely disconnected from the real world in general.
Yes. Yeah. She was doing like John Favreau had that amazing show where he was like cooking with celebrities.
Yeah. It's like, remember when we were in that movie together?
And she's like, I wasn't in Spider-Man. He's like, yep, yes, you were in it with me.
We were there together.
That means Gwyneth Paltrow began hi.
She's high.
I mean, when you go to that alternative like medicine sort of like route, you're getting high. Like, there's no way around. You're not doing that.
Everything
shit
smells like hemp, so it just smells marijuana.
So might as well.
Yeah.
I had
so Star Wars, 3 more movies.
More than 3 more movies, because the Jedi Academy one is going to be a series of 3.
Okay.
So, and then and it's going to be directed by a woman too, which is great, who's a Star Wars fan, and she's also an Oscar nominated.
It doesn't matter because the Star Wars fans
Catherine Kennedy.
No, it's not Catherine Kennedy. And look, see, people hate on Catherine Kennedy because she's a woman, and
yeah.
And also, maybe her plan for the sequel trilogy wasn't great. Okay. But
It was no plan. That's why it wasn't great.
Well, I think that there was a plan in the beginning, but then they just let the fans just.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but I feel like it had a very good, promising beginning, and then just went. Woo.
But like, it's not like she hasn't been a part of Star Wars since like the beginning. She's been like producing these movies since like, the first.
I feel like it was no plan because.
Oh yeah, certainly.
For reason, or this is why I feel like it was no plan. So, all right, you let J.J. Abrams do the first one, and you planned on letting Rian Johnson do the next two. Why not have Rian Johnson do all three, or J.J. Abrams do all three? But also, nobody sat at the board and was like, yeah. And then Luke Skywalker throws the lightsaber over his shoulder, and we're going to get real dark and real just complicated and angsty for the second one. And I love The Last Jedi, but if you look at the tone Force Awakens, and that it is not a New Hope versus Empire tone change. It's literally like these are two different movies that aren't related except for they got people with laser swords. That's it. Like, and so I mean, no one can sit at a board and made that and been like, yeah, this story all makes sense. Like, come on, man. Like, no, they just said, hey, we got two people making 3 movies. Go figure it out, guys, and see y'all later.
Just to actually, as a nerd to you, Jason, Rian Johnson was only supposed to do the middle one. Colin Trevorrow was supposed to do the third one. But then his passion project, Book of something, came out and it tanked and it was terrible. And they were like, get this guy off my movie. And then they had to scramble and find another director. And J.J. Abrams like, I'll do it again, I guess. Y'all gonna pay me $500 million? Cool. We'll do it again. All that shit that guy did, fuck it. We're going to do some more stuff. Like,
I think J.J. Abrams should stick to making PG-13 kiddish kind of movies. I think should be his wheelhouse going forward. And like I like Super 8. I think Super 8 is a very fine movie. He should stay in that wheelhouse, like ripping off Spielberg. Stay in that wheelhouse.
I think he would be fine as a director of Indiana Jones if that was like on the table. That'd be cool because, as you said, stay in that Spielberg wheelhouse, right? But as in long form storytelling, especially since he has his stick, which is the mystery box. Where he's like, here's the box. There's a mystery in it. And the box is empty. Which is intriguing for the first, part. But if you don't got
that
nothing in the box.
The worst storytelling idea I've ever. And I'm not a writer. And I don't write anything. Hell, I talk to text most of my life. So I don't even text with my fingers. I just talk. When I saw that TED Talk, I was like, how was not every writer in here throwing tomatoes at him and boo that man and walking out? Like, I know when I did take English classes that typically, your story has a beginning and then you rise the tension, you get to the climax, you come down. Yeah. Like, in this mystery box formula, you aren't doing anything. You're basically just telling us to keep watching in hope and fear that maybe you answer the questions that you pose. And you know what happens with J.J. Abrams a lot of the time? He doesn't answer any of the questions.
We should have figured that out with Lost.
Yes.
At least
starts out real strong, doesn't know how to end.
Yeah, at least in the Star Trek movie.
It's like my sex life.
Yeah. Bow, there we go. Sing, sing, sing. He's got 2 kids, guys.
I felt gross even saying it, guys. Sorry.
But yeah, hopefully this will be more cohesive. Because I feel like it's already going to be more cohesive because they actually have like a plan this time. But we shall see. I'll be there no matter what. They'll give me garbage. I'm like, this is great.
We know. Lisa, I know you have something you want to talk about.
Oh, yes. Okay, so this is the thing that I just keep thinking about over and over is the last couple movies we watched, they have in the beginning of the movie, they have like the whole cast sitting there like right before the movie starts, and they're just like, thank you for coming to the movie where movies are supposed to be experienced, and almost like shaming other people for not watching.
Don't watch your movies at home.
But like those people aren't watching it. Like, so it's just like, what the hell? And then especially when you watch in the Dungeons and Dragons movie, like you said, Jason, they looked like they were literally had guns helping them. Were like, read this sign.
Read the sign.
And it's just like and especially like these days, because things don't stay in the movie theater. Like, I feel like Titanic stayed in the movie theater for like 9 months, and I had to like pre-order the VHS tape for it, and it took like, I feel like wasn't able to watch Titanic in the theater, like outside the theater, for like a year and a half, honestly, after it had come out. But like now things, even if you go see the theater, it's coming to streaming in a month.
Yeah, we just reviewed John Wick like what 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and like it's already on streaming.
Yeah, so it's just like shut the fuck up, like let people like let people watch it with how they want to watch it. You know, like why? What is the whole point? And I feel like it goes back to stupid Scorsese and stupid stupid Avatar guy that
James Cameron.
Because like they're just like yelling the loudest, like movies are meant to be experienced. Okay, but that still doesn't change the fact that you've been, you know, like home box office movies have been a thing for decades now. Like get over. This is not a new concept.
Here's also the thing: it's like our technology at home rivals what they have at the theater, right? Like you can get a big screen TV for relatively cheap. You know, 20 years ago when we were kids, you know, you were rich if you had a 80-inch TV. Now you go to people's apartments, they have 80-inch TVs and shit. You know,
so people got in their car.
Just living there.
Oh yeah.
This is what I got.
That's why I literally every weekend I drive around in the bad neighborhoods to see if people get evicted so I can take their 80-inch TV.
Nice.
Mine now.
If anybody has any leads, please let us know in the comments.
But yeah, you have like, you know, surround sound. You have, you know, your giant TV, which is true color, true movie quality picture. And you don't have black guys in the movie ruin it for you when yelling, "Oh my God, why do you beat his ass?" Beat his ass. Don't run away.
Yeah. I'm glad you could acknowledge that, Jason. I'm glad you could acknowledge that.
Yeah, I'm with you, Jason. I apologize, but you know, sometimes you're in the movie theater.
You were into the movie. That's all. That you were just into the movie. We'll take it as that.
And it's funny because my kid is way worse than I am. That little bastard will talk the entire movie.
No, I can't. We almost and this kind of rolls into the other topic that I want to talk about. Like, we almost me and James during Renfield, we were debating are we gonna go say something to this motherfucker on the same row as us, because they were talking full voice, not even trying to be quiet, just conversations, not talking about the movie, just talking about whatever. And another thing, watch it at home. It's gonna be streaming next week. Why you gotta be
right.
You paid $17 a ticket to sit here
and talk.
And not even talking about the movie. So it's just it's stupid. It makes me mad. And the common courtesy, I feel of people. And I think that I want to say the pandemic had a lot to do with it. I have other theories that certain people allowed other people just to be assholes and didn't hold them accountable for their actions. So just kind of allowed everyone to be dickheads.
But you're making a political statement here.
I was trying not to. I was just saying in general, people of power in the recent past have just allowed a certain decorum of humans, and then out of that we have gotten the worst of the worst of human behavior. And there are social norms that just don't matter anymore. You just have people just acting like complete psychos.
I agree, because the last few movies that I've gone to watch in the movie theater, besides myself, at least I would be talking about what's going on the screen rather loudly if it's a horror movie. But people be just having full-on conversations, just talking their normal fucking voices, and I'm like, and you know, I can't fight, so I'm not going to say nothing. But I am going to look at them very harshly.
Well, that's the other thing, is you never know how people are going to react. So it's always is this seriously worth what could possibly be my life? Because you just don't know.
Yeah, you never know. Yeah, you're right.
And but the other thing is is it even worth my time? But there are definitely, you know, Jason sent me a TikTok about someone being going to the Taylor Swift concert, right? And it was a Gen Z, a young kid being completely fucking obnoxious, and the people next to her being yo, can you just like tone it down some? And she's like, nope, I paid for these. I paid $500 for these tickets.
Like, I'm gonna do what the fuck I feel.
Yeah,
like.
but we did too. Like and no one's saying don't scream at a concert, but you don't have to be fucking obnoxious. Like,
and there is concert etiquette because, especially for those of us who go to like, you know, metal shows and shit like that, there'd be people who are like in the pit, like, why is everybody crowd surfing? It's like, you're in a fucking metal concert. You know, if you didn't want this to happen, go sit down. But if you're sitting down, don't be crowd surfing, right? Like,
like, and don't be mad if you can't see. If the person in front of you standing up, then fucking stand up. You're at a concert. Like,
if you're at Chastain Park with your parents watching Gladys Knight and the Pips, then you sit down with your glass of wine.
Sure.
What? That's when you crowd surf at. What you talking about? That's when you get crunk.
I was getting my spits of Gladys Knight.
Midnight train to Georgia, baby. Better get out there.
That gets me riled up. Yep. I start throwing elbows when that comes on.
Yeah. It's horrible. Just hearing more and more stories of people just losing their mind over, you know, stupid things, and just like the entitlement, I think is just insanity. And
it's not just entitlement, but it's a horrible lack of empathy, right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't empathize with another person who is there trying to experience the same thing that you're experiencing, you know, who wants to just have a good time just like you, but you're too concerned in your own selfishness that you're ruining anybody else's time. You're ruining my buzz, man.
Yeah.
You're bringing me down, Bruce.
Yeah, and it's like, but why is your experience more important than mine? And I'm not saying that don't have fun, and I'm not saying don't, you know, scream your head off, but don't make a fucking show of it that people are looking at you and not at Taylor Swift. Like,
to also make this a political statement, well, here in this country, a lot of people's experiences have always been more important than others. So,
well, big facts. But it's kind of like that sales. Like, you ever been around salespeople? And I'm sorry if you're a salesman, but you know what? Because salespeople drive me crazy.
Jason, aren't you a salesman? Don't you sell stuff?
No, I don't sell anything. I sell hope and dreams.
Run on this, like, my time's more important than yours. Hey, can you do this for me? Because I got to do something. And I cannot stand that shit. Cannot.
If you're working a commission, you're like, yo, my time is more important because I might not get paid today. So come on, I gotta go.
No, it doesn't. No, I don't care. That's the job you chose. Go somewhere else, son.
Lisa also doesn't tip by everybody.
Oh,
that is not. He's a fucking liar. He is a liar. Don't even let him. That's going to be trending on the internet tomorrow. # Lisa don't tip, and then everyone's going to be like,
Lisa becomes a new name.
You should get a better job if you didn't want this $1 off his $300 check.
Lisa becomes a new name for Karen. Oh, here come one of them Lisas. Like, oh shit!
Wow,
it's like,
Lisa.
Okay, Lisa. Whenever you know, Jason used to work at Papado, or even when James did, and they used to give us like free, you know, they'd comp our meals for us if we'd come and eat. We'd always be like, "You got to charge us for a drink because we don't have no cash." Does anyone work for Papado anymore? Does anyone work for Papado?
I don't know if the statute of limitations is passed yet. I don't know yet.
She has no idea what she's talking about. Papado corporate. I never got a free meal when I worked there.
We always charged everybody. Everybody.
I made
she only came in and had a soda, so we only charged her for a soda.
Unannounced Cajun restaurant in or around the perimeter.
In and around the Atlanta metro area.
Do we have any more news that we would like to discuss, or was there any other topics you guys had?
Do you have anything that you want to discuss, Jason?
Yeah. What else are... No? Okay.
I'm always living a life, you know, hanging out, being groovy. Like, yep, okay.
Is that still a slang that we can use? Groovy?
Yeah, I mean, well, you told me I couldn't use the S words the other week, so yeah, I guess I got to pull something back.
I actually thought about that today, watching Batman.
Oh wow! Like, why would you think of that term? Watching Batman.
You want to start at 20 then?
Yeah, we can start at 20. I'm always still trying to, learn, the modern slang for it as it is. Like lit. Is that still a thing? You can still say things are lit. What do kids say?
Say whatever you want, and then whenever you hear a kid say something, then you
copy it.
Yeah. Like I'd never heard Riz before until the past couple months, and then so now I say it all the time, and I'm still not entirely sure that I know what it means, but
you're using it wrong. I'll tell you that right now.
I'm still trying to bring back fetch, so it's fine.
Stop trying to make fetch a thing.
The fact that we all know what he's talking about.
We do a movie podcast.
We can review that movie. I'm sure y'all haven't done it
yet.
Oh
yes, I would love to.
No.
Have
These
so
are
many
only
thoughts. So many thoughts.
Black movies. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think Mean Girls is a black movie because of Maurice and his rap at the end. What's his name? Maurice? Or is it Kenny? I can't remember his name.
The Macathon dude? Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Headcanon Circus podcast. We're here live. This is going to be, hopefully this episode won't suck. It's going to be a bat-tastic episode today. Bat puns. We have a phenomenal show for you guys this evening. We will be reviewing Renfield. That just came out in the movie theaters. Also, we'll be doing some Batman stuff, like some animated Batman movies, like the Batman or the Doom that came to Gotham, as well as the Batman versus Dracula. See, there's a theme. It's synergy. It's like poetry. It rhymes.
Always. That's the only way poetry exists.
Yeah. Some poetry doesn't rhyme. Some bad. I don't like poetry at all. Obviously, if you're joining us for the first time, or if you haven't, or if you're continue to join with us, please do the things that the websites and the YouTubes always tell you to do, which is to like, share, subscribe, interact with this show, because one day we would all like to quit our actual jobs and just become like filthy rich, like poor, like really bad people, where we can just be like, oh, we can use the fast lane at Disney World. We don't stand in line like the poor people do. And that would be great, because I would definitely be that guy.
So I will say, I don't have to be filthy rich. I just kind of like to not have to worry about when I get paid next. That's all. I just want regular rich.
Just regular. Not like eat the rich kind of rich, but we're on your side, but we also get to eat every day.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
Of course, none of this could happen without my two lovely co-hosts. Of course, first up, he's the icon to my static. He knows. Jason, how are you doing today, Jason?
Good. I keep thinking about taglines, so I was like, oh, should I we're here, we're queer,
probably
nothing to fear.
I know.
Will that work? Well, y'all just keep testing the markets with things, but I'm good, man. I'm glad to be here, man. I'm excited. I feel like the little break that we had before we did last week has kind of re-energized me. I'm back in my game again.
Back in their element, watching movies and telling you that shit sucks. Like, it sucks, it all sucks. Why do we do this? This is horrible. And with another comic book reference, she is the Jessica Cruz to our Jon Stewart and Simon Baz. Lisa, how you doing? See, deep cut mother.
Doing good. Thank you. I will also say that we could totally use the here we're queer, whatever, because I feel like last week Jason was like, I might be bisexual. So it works. It's okay. It's like, it doesn't matter.
Whatever makes my dad hang his head in shame, I will be willing to be.
Winning. Oh, also, I just want you guys to know that next week I'm going to see Taylor Swift live, so I'm very excited about that. But that's it.
Oh, yeah, I guess that is coming up next week. We gotta make t-shirts. I'll do Uber that night so I can drive around. Be like, where the white bitches at?
Yo, you'd make so much money. You make so much money Ubering.
Get in my car. Come on.
Yes.
Jen Silverhome was right. You are the problem. It is you.
Okay. Okay. Next.
I hope you have a great time. Are you going to add that to the stream?
It's going to be.
Oh, no. I was doing it and I hit it by accident.
Okay. It's going to be lit.
We're going to get past. That's all.
And we're gonna and Jason and Lisa are gonna gang up with me, and they're gonna tell me how my opinions suck, and it's gonna be so much fun. I'm just gonna cry about it later. I was crying actually earlier today because I watched the series finale of Picard, and I was ugly crying. So you guys are lucky that I'm even here right now because I was red, like puffy red eyes.
You're good.
I'm sorry. You're right. All the breakup.
Sarah Packer said, "Jason, I'm going to unsubscribe. You better watch it."
Time out.
That's because that's Swiftie hate. No Swiftie hate.
I'm gonna stop my Swiftie hate after this statement. Isn't she single again now?
It doesn't matter because that is the least important thing about her life right now. So fuck you. Okay?
Jason's saying that because Jason now has a chance. That's what he's saying.
Dude,
he has a chance.
Beautiful woman.
Well, if she watches our podcast, he ain't got no chance because all he does is talk about you know who.
Well, you know, someone like that. Is it called negging? Yeah. She may be into that negging thing.
It's my Riz.
No, that's not. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's the right context.
Some child's like, oh my God, I can't believe these old people.
Who gave these old people a show?
All right, here we go. Renfield, the tortured aide of his narcissistic boss, Dracula, is forced to procure his master's prey and do his every bidding. However, after centuries of servitude, he's ready. It wasn't centuries. He's ready to do to see if there's a life outside the shadow of the Prince of Darkness. That is what Google has to say about Renfield that is now in the movie theater. Now, of course, if you don't know, now you know. For everything that we do a one-sentence review. So, Lisa, go ahead and start us off with your one-sentence review for Renfield.
My one-sentence review for Renfield is, what a great way to suck.
All of our sentences are going to have the word suck in it, I bet you.
I'm going to flip it.
Jason, hit us with your one-sentence review.
My one-sentence review is, can Dracula inject blood and energy into people? Because that's what he does for this movie.
Oh, jeez. This is going to be really rough. All right. Well, for me, for Renfield, I go, Nicolas Cage being batshit insane can't save this movie from sucking. Fuck all y'all.
It's going to be a great show.
Wow.
Well, because you're a hater, I mean, since you have the most dissent, Jason, let's start off you with the pros.
Yeah, go ahead.
My pros and cons. It really had to think hard about the pros for this. First up, my first pro is that Nick Cage and Bryn Schwartz seem to be legitimately having a good time in this movie. They bring an infectious energy that they seem like they're just having a blast. And it is all over the screen, which is great. My next pro is Awkwafina looks like a normal, everyday person. There we go.
I'll save my rebuttal for a later moment. I'll save it for your cons.
Should I do my cons right now? No rebuttals on my pros?
Oh, that's all your pros?
That's all my pros, too. I got two pros.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Lisa, give us
your
pros.
My pros are Nicolas Cage, love him. Everything about the movie was fun. It wasn't too long. And it was a perfect balance of action and comedy. And I agree with Jason. It looked like they were just having fun doing it.
Awesome.
Rebuttal, right. This movie was not fun.
Oh, you're not fun. Rebuttal, you're not fun.
That could be the case. That could be 100% the case. I just like joy in my heart.
Rebuttal, or is this are you occupying our time rebuttal?
That was a formal rebuttal. That this was
okay. Yeah, but it's like I was like, Lisa, because if you want to reclaim
my time.
Okay. My pros are following suit. Nick Cage. He's a horror guy. I loved all the callbacks to previous Dracula films. Just magnificent. The action scenes were really well done here, and it makes me still feel like stunt people should get an award. It should be a category because this actually made me believe that Awkwafina could actually, beat somebody up, which I would have never thought before this movie. So, those are my pros.
Rebuttal. Nah,
okay.
It's fine. I'm just not going to shit on everything. You know what you just said there? All this is shit.
doing a lot of formal complaints here, Jason. I don't know.
I quit.
Well, in that case, then Jason, I guess we can get into your cons then. Go for it. Well, I mean, you have what 6 of them? Damn,
6 of them. Yeah, you guys are about the first one. This movie is painfully unfunny. You're gonna rebut this one. The action is too cut up and uses too much CGI blood for my liking. The support group. We're gonna all
right. I'm rebutting. I'm gonna rebut for the blood. I gotta step up for that. I was gonna save it. Like the point of the movie is for the blood to look so comical. Like it's a horror comedy. Like it's almost supposed to be almost cartoonish. Well, like
they didn't do either of the ones, either of those parts very, very good. It was neither horrifying nor comedic for me.
Well, I mean, I think you found it horrifying, but not for the reasons the movie was.
Oh, well, on my next point, this is what actually did feel horrifying. Killing the support group of battered people just felt cruel to me. They would go on to the MacGuffin of Dracula's blood. Healing just everybody also seemed very lazy. This is for my people. Here's my next con. The movie is set in New Orleans, and there's only one black character, and no one has a fucking accent. Like if this is Boston, everybody would be like, "Yo, I saw him in Boston Yon." Blah 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 blah. But finally, Awkwafina's acting in this is just maybe she should go back to the black accent. I don't know. It was just so bland. Go ahead, Lisa.
Rebuttal. Lisa has a rebuttal.
Okay, so this is legitimate about the accent thing, and I feel like because the South in general is full of so many transplants like everywhere that unless you're in like the bayou or unless you're in like a very concentrated like country backwoods or like even in Georgia, like you would not believe how many people ask me where I'm from because I don't have a Southern accent, and I literally was born and raised in Georgia. So I just think that the accent, especially because I get pissed when I watch movies that take place in Georgia and they have this stupid syrupy Southern accent. I don't know one goddamn person who talks like that. And so I am okay with the accent because I feel like, especially the South is becoming more non-regional.
I want to also before you rebut Jason on that, I agree with Lisa in the sense. I agree with Lisa in the sense that it being in New Orleans isn't a player in the game. So I didn't really need the extra. Until you mentioned it, I forgot it was in New Orleans because
exactly. Why are you going to pick such a?
But I'm just saying, but the city isn't a character in it, so I don't need the character specifics of the city because it could have been set in Kalamazoo for all we can. It doesn't matter. Like it's about what the
you're right.
Interaction
it doesn't matter what city it's set in, but if you're going to set it in an iconic city such as New Orleans, bring some New Orleans to the table, right? Why even mention Cafe Du Monde
though? But I think you said it in the city because the random deaths don't seem as large. If you did it in Podunk Town, one person died, it seems like extreme.
Yeah, but if they were in New York, then you'd be mad they didn't have a New York accent.
No, I wouldn't care about them having a New York accent, but New Orleans has
Jason
accent. But you know what? If they were in New York, you would have somebody. You would have somebody going, "We walk in here. What are you doing?" You know, they would do that. But they can't do it for a city that has like this very distinct regional accent. Like it's very distinct. I hate when they've set movies in New Orleans or even like in Savannah, and it doesn't capture the flavor of that city. And sometimes, and it's fine. You guys are right. It's just a city they put it in. But like New Orleans is
also a transplant city that a lot of people are not from there anymore. A lot of people are not from there anymore.
Especially since Katrina, especially.
Yeah, because they all went to Houston.
If it took place in the 80s, 100%, I would agree with you. But now it's just everyone moves everywhere. No one's from anywhere anymore.
They're from New Orleans because no one leaves New Orleans because that place sucks.
Okay.
We got a lot of people from New Orleans in our city. Thank you very much. Because we got
they have to leave because that place sucks.
We have found our formal rebuttals. Jason, continue. What other cons you may have?
Oh, that's it. That's it. I'm done. That was 6.
Okay. Lisa, what are your cons of Renfield?
Okay, cons of Renfield. The police storyline. Ew. Fuck the police.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
there was no tie to her dad in Dracula other than he was just searching for a bunch of just like random homicides. But it would have been nice if we could have had some kind of like he died on a case, and you find out that he found out who Dracula was, like all this, or like maybe they're hunters, and I don't know. I just felt like that was a missed opportunity for the plot. And then my other con is Awkwafina.
Rebuttal.
All right, yeah. Jason.
Go ahead.
I agree with you on Awkwafina. Is that a rebuttal?
No. That's more like the confirmation.
That is it. Definitely not.
You needed 2 to confirm, and you just confirmed it. Okay. Rebuttal is that? Okay. My con.
I don't know what that word means. I don't know.
That means I object. Sorry.
Yes, we could have used way more Nick Cage Dracula because he's a national treasure, and I was gonna make all these references to all those movies, but you get the joke. All right. Yeah, I hate Awkwafina. I hate the fact that how she's used in this. I hate that every single corny line she has, it felt like they were letting her riff, and that was the best she came up with, and it still was really bad. It was like, I know on the preview you hear the it's like you bring Dracula to Postmates for Dracula. Like, that's a terrible line. Like, it's a garbage line. And in fact, you put it in the trailer, let me know what I was going to expect from her for the rest of the way. I'm with Jason. Maybe she's only funny when she does the black scent thing, which is not funny unless you're not, I guess I was going to say, unless you're like not, if you're not black, but Lisa doesn't think it's funny. And she's not black.
Unless
but
you're
still.
Jaren hate, pow, pow, pow.
Well, he loves Asians no matter what they do. Like, so it's fine. When China takes over the United States, Jaren's going to be in heaven. He's going to be like, finally!
For a moment like this.
Right. His Irish accent is going to get real thick then. All right. I could have used more of Renfield's backstory and eliminated the police story altogether. That would have been more interesting because he said, he was in the Great War. That would have been great to see him in blah, 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 because he comes off as not like someone who had been in a war, because you would think,
he's a little
PTSD or anyway. So I thought that would have been better.
And then I'm sorry, Jay, go ahead with your comments.
Okay, I would say my really last one is that I think the son of the head boss chick, I wish they wouldn't have played him as goofy, but played him as being crazy, not goofy. So when he does go to the next level, as the audience, we would be fearful of Renfield battling him because he was already off his rocker before. Yeah. So I just a little tweaking or a little editing, I think they could have made him more menacingly crazy than actually just like goof troop. So
yeah, because if I were his mom, I would have killed him a long time ago.
Okay, I guess at least that's a rebuttal.
Yeah, no rebuttal. I just wanted to like agree with you on that final point, and I think that's probably the thing with Awkwafina too. Is like, when I first saw the son, I was like, oh, it's John Ralphio from Parks and Rec. And he acted the same way he acted.
He plays the same character.
He plays the same character. It's the same thing with Awkwafina, even though I think that she was actually trying to play a different character because she didn't have the black scent, which made me think that she was trying. But but it's the same. Like she's very one-dimensional. That John Ralphio is very one-dimensional. Like
Ben Schwartz.
So yeah, so it's just kind of like why you have two characters like that in this movie. Like pick one or the other. But I always like crazy people because you really never know what they're gonna do.
He was different in Sonic.
Okay.
Wasn't he Sonic?
All right, there we go.
I will never forgive him because they could have had freaking Jaleel White play Sonic.
Oh well.
I will never forgive him. Taking jobs from us. We're a hardworking black man.
Until it's Sonic 3 and I force us to go watch it. You will never forgive him until then.
And I enjoy that one too. And I'm like, God damn you.
Making me like Shadow. Anyway.
They should make Jaleel White Shadow.
Oh, that would be dope.
Can you tell me who Jaleel White is? I'm sorry. Oh, gotcha. Okay.
He was also the voice of Sonic in the cartoon series for a number of years.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hi, Mom.
Yeah, James and I talked about this, having Nicholas Hoult play Clark Kent, because he's, with the exception of Nicolas Cage as being so god darn goofy, like even though I feel like he's sleepwalking through this movie, he's pretty good, Nicholas Hoult. He's always
he's
just like
great.
a solid guy. Just like put him in anything, and he just like, I got this. Don't worry. I don't even need to read the script. I'm gonna be fine. What is this movie about? Don't even tell me. We'll be fine. We can fix it in post.
All right, Jason. Anything else you got, Jason? You got any questions for us? Anything you want to discuss about this movie? Because you hated it so much.
It just wasn't funny to me. I'm sorry. It's just like when I was in the theater, I giggled a couple of times. But it's just like it was more like a groaned giggle, like the theater I was in, even though there was a lot of people, it was absolutely silent. No one was laughing along. And it just didn't feel like a horror comedy. It felt like something that would have been, passable on a DVD and that we would have probably watched once and never watched again for me.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And I'll turn this over.
I'll turn this over to, I think one of the questions Lisa may have, you've kind of already nailed down for.
Do you want me to ask the question now, or you want me to give final thoughts? Okay, so 3 questions, guys. So number 1, for this movie, too much gore, not enough gore, or just the perfect amount of gore?
I'm a gore hound, especially this goofy gore. They should have went like buckets and waterfalls of blood for me, but I'm here. I think more gore, but I think it was for the average guy just the right amount. It was good, pretty comical.
I think they should have done 1,000 times % more gore. The only time I was like, that's actually covered is when they actually got done with the apartment fight and all the body parts are lying around.
Right.
I thought that was a cool, like, especially when she said, when they say this is I've seen worse.
Yeah,
this is the thing where this is where I'm worst. This is my worst.
Well,
I thought that was fun.
I thought it was interesting because that part of the fight, because you got the people at the hideout watching it. I thought the interesting thing for it, which is why I give this movie a little bit more credit than Jason does, the subtle stuff that everyone except for the mob boss woman was freaked out by the blood. But when we first see her, what was she doing when we first saw her? She was literally watching someone be tortured and fine with it. So I thought that was a very subtle thing in the movie that I thought was awesome. That like, as all this gory stuff's going on, and they're like, oh, she's just like, like she's like almost turned on about it a little bit. Like, I don't know. I thought that was a nice subtle touch. So yeah, more gore could have worked, but I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like sometimes I'm like more gore, and then I remind myself that I saw someone get stabbed through the heart with an arm, and, and I'm like, you know what,
maybe hit the right balance.
Now that I think about it, like I loved, like you said about Nicolas Cage and the like how gross he looked. Like I loved how gross.
Oh, his makeup was really, really good.
And like the makeup was so good. It was so gross, and like you almost could like smell how gross he was. And I just think that that's always great. I would not have been mad about more gore, but I do think it had just enough, like you said, Jason, for the average movie goer. It was pretty epic.
Don't worry, we're gonna get our full of gore next week.
Oh, I am not watching that movie.
The Evil Dead Rises
Again.
I am
not watching that movie.
No, I don't want to watch that either. Can we veto it?
Oh, I can watch it. You can veto it, and
I saw the trailer and I'm like, nope.
Yeah, I'll get my review. We'll pick something other stuff for the show.
Here's the thing, my producer, he wants to see it, so I will go see it if
me and James just go together. It'd be like a date. We'll hold hands.
Yeah, you guys can go on a date, so he can I'm not a fan of the Evil Dead movies in general, but
be careful, Jason, because he's a snuggler. So
I'm all for it, man. I'm Big Spoon all day, baby. I'm a bear.
No, he's what it's called. A bear? You don't get a choice in that.
Oh, okay. Then I'll be what? I don't know what the other thing.
You're Little Spoon. You're Big Spoon, Little Spoon.
But what's the reverse of the bear? It's
otter.
There you go. Bear. Yeah. All right. I'll work with that. As we just completely went off the rocker again. I'm sorry. Lisa, continue.
It's fine. Okay. Question.
I'm there for the Evil Dead.
Yeah, he's there for Evil Dead. Okay, even after watching what Renfield went through, would you choose to be a familiar?
Fuck no.
I'm gonna say no, because at one point it made it feel like Renfield was like Dracula was doing butt stuff with him. He didn't say it, but it felt that way to me. So I'm good, bro.
I mean,
I'm good.
If they were doing butt stuff, I'd be like, no, he abandons his family. Like, nah. And he has to eat bugs. You know, I don't like fucking bugs at all. I'm not eating them.
F them kids, bro. I'm fine with the family part. But
Jason's like, can someone
I
take
draw the
me
line.
away?
Draw the line at the other
Look,
stuff.
as soon as he's like, you got to eat a bug, I'm like, oh, I'm out. I don't think I'm going to do this.
You should have
like,
said that before I agreed to sell my soul.
This is not going to work out. Go ahead.
That's a hard
rid of me.
Have you watched Always Sunny when Charlie does the play, like in the soul troll pole thing? Have you ever seen that episode of Always Sunny? It's a part in there, but anyway. Oh, that show's great. But it's a part in there with Charlie's play. But anyway, the line is like, to pass this poll, I have to take your soul. But Danny DeVito Frank is like, to pass this poll, I need to pull the boy's hole. He keeps saying it. But it's just a hilarious moment. And Danny DeVito is like probably the greatest actor of all time after watching Always Sunny now.
He's been the greatest actor of all time. Have you not seen
You're right. I mean, I'm late to the party. I'm just saying.
Tardy to the party.
Right?
Don't be tardy to the party. Whoa, yeah, we watched Real Housewives of Atlanta. Don't worry.
Yes, of course we did. We have to. It's like
it had the word Atlanta in it. I had to watch it.
And okay, so I feel like I'm just gonna say it, and then we don't have to talk about it ever. But I feel like I would have I think I would be a familiar, and that's all I'm saying on that. Number 3. Would you have enjoyed the movie more if Awkwafina wasn't in it?
They could have completely left her character out, and I think it would have been a 5 on 5.
You think it would? You think she ruined the movie for you?
No, it was still painfully unfunny, but a lot of the stuff that was unfunny was coming from her.
Man, JC set the bar so high. Look, I think she's fine in it. I don't. If it was someone who was funnier, yes, I think it works better. But because I think a lot of her stuff didn't land. But I'll admit I have an Awkwafina bias, so I'm never going to be a good
That's probably
if she's funny or not. Like to me, when she comes on the screen, I roll my eyes, and when I was like, "Oh, she's not being black today," only one eye was rolling for the rest of the movie. So
she's no Macklemore, I'll tell you that.
She isn't.
All right.
She isn't. Macklemore's a real one.
Yeah.
He's a real one.
She literally isn't no Macklemore.
She literally.
Well, Macklemore knows he's a guest for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I love the movie with or without her, so I don't know if I would have enjoyed it more or not, but I don't think she helped the movie. So,
Ali Wong is just right there.
Yeah,
she's right there.
She's doing that Netflix show where she plays a fucking psychopath.
Well, her and
Beef
Steven
was Beef or Beef. Yeah.
That first episode is wild. It's weird.
I heard it's crazy, man. I gotta watch it.
I've only watched the first episode, and don't watch that with your kids.
No. No, that's just like no. There's like a gun, and then
yeah. And then
it's a thing. So
oh wow, okay,
yeah.
If you play Xbox and you unlock a trophy and it says trophy unlocked, I was like, oh, kink unlocked right there.
Oh God, Jason, Jesus. Okay, let's wrap this up.
I felt the ding.
Let's wrap this up.
Oh really? That's weird.
Okay. Wrap it up.
Why did we invite him on the show this week?
Listen,
I have no idea why we invited him on the show.
He's ruining our rated E for everyone for sure.
We were never rated E for everyone.
On Spotify, we're rated E for everyone.
That's because we're lying to them.
Yes. Lies to get the eyes or the ears. Okay, let's go on down to the rundown. I'll start because I would have saved Jason for last. When we go over all of our pros, cons, and we give our rating. And so my pros for Renfield is Nick Cage as Dracula, callbacks to classic Dracula films. I did enjoy the action scenes. My cons are it could have used more Dracula because you can't get enough of Dracula, especially Nick Cage. Awkwafina is just a con. Even if she was won an Academy Award for this, she still would be my con because she's a con artist. Anyway, could have used more of Renfield's backstory and not the police story, and that the main boss's son, I felt should have been a psychopath, less of a goof troop. Lisa, what are your pros and cons for Renfield?
Okay, pro is Nicolas Cage. Love him. Everything about this movie was just super fun. I love the gore. Anytime anyone's getting stabbed with an arm, I'm here for it. Mm-hmm. It wasn't too long. I'm thankful for 1.5 hour movies, and I'm glad that they're coming back with a vengeance. And I thought it had the perfect balance of comedy and action. Khan is Aquafina. The police storyline, boo police. I think that they missed an opportunity for the plot to tie in their dad somehow to Dracula, like on a bigger scale. And that's it.
All right. And then the main man, Jason.
All right. Pros: Nick Cage, Ben Schwartz look like they're having fun. Also, another pro, Aquafina looks like a normal everyday person because she is. Con: this movie is not funny. It is bad. It is not funny. The action is too cut up and it uses too much CGI blood to work. Killing support group is cruel. It was sad. Those people were victims. The MacGuffins of Dracula's blood just seem lazy. New Orleans not having any black characters, even though you set this movie in New Orleans, that's dumb. And of course, Aquafina sucks. She's just not making movies. Just go ahead and throw that out there.
Oh, we've got to get the rating. Jason, what is your rating on Renfield?
2 out of 5.
Wow, it's not higher than I thought you'd. Lisa, rating?
5 out of 5.
Wow. Okay. I guess I'm stuck in the middle, man. I'm giving this a solid. I was going to say 3.8, but I'll give it a solid 3.5. I enjoyed it.
Look, I've seen Halloween Ends, so it's Halloween Kills, so like it's not that.
All right,
actually, is a con.
Oh yes, actually, real quick, because I thought of something when I was like in the car driving home. So I figured we want to play a game because we all like games, right?
Yeah, let's play a game.
All right, let's play another edition of This or That, where we give one option and we give another option and we choose this or that. And we're playing the Dracula Nick Cage edition. You guys ready? All right. Okay. So yes, either you choose Nick Cage's Dracula for Renfield, which will be the constant stay, or Leslie Nielsen from Dead and Loving It.
Dead and Loving It, hands down. Bing. Was that my answer? Beat you, Lisa.
I think Lisa hasn't seen the movie. Lisa's like, here you go. I'm gonna go with Nick Cage as well.
Yeah.
You guys are bad.
We have Nick Cage, this or the original, most people original Dracula. Is it Bela Lugosi? Yes.
Nick Cage.
Nick Cage. Oh, I'm pretty sure that dude, the old dude, was a racist. So yeah, Nick Cage.
Okay, with that, if we're doing that caveat, Nick Cage all the way. We're gonna do Nick Cage's Dracula or Christopher Lee's Dracula.
Christopher Lee. Look at me. Christopher Lee is a bona fide.
Hold on. Give me a second here, Jason. There we go. Go for it.
He is a bona fide world hero. He killed so many Nazis in World War II. They had to even make up an award to give for him how many Nazis he killed. Christopher Lee, hands down, all day, every day.
All right. Lisa.
Like in real life?
In real life.
Yeah, real life. Yeah, he killed Nazis. Yeah.
Well, now I feel like I have to pick him. So
how many Nazis did Nick Cage kill?
Yeah.
That we know of.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, honestly, Nick Cage is probably out there like being like Batman and beating up Nazis like on his spare time.
All right. Nicolas Cage's Dracula or the Dracula in Nosferatu.
Oh, that shit is scary.
Oh, that shit is scary.
I'm going to pick Nicolas Cage because that thing still gives me nightmares.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I have to sneeze. I'm going to, Nick Cage. Sorry, he's trying.
With John Malkovich, where he actually was a real vampire and they were just filming it. What's that? There was a movie.
John Malkovich was, I can't remember.
It was Willem Dafoe. I'm sorry, it wasn't John Malkovich. It was Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe was acting as the guy for
Yeah, he was a real
Shadow
vampire.
Or something. Yeah. Nicolas Cage's Dracula or Luke Evans' Dracula from Dracula Untold.
Is that a choice?
Nick Cage,
I put it on the list.
I don't know who the other one is.
Well, and Dracula Untold, he becomes a Dracula because he wants to save his family from the mean brown Turks. So
yes, this was the first movie in the Universal verse they were going to make, like with Tom Cruise's Mummy and all that. And yeah. So that was actually the first movie in that whole line, but nobody remembers it.
Nick Cage, hands down.
All right, here's I think it'll be easy for Jason, but a little harder for me and Lisa. Nick Cage's Dracula or Gary Oldman's?
How is this a choice?
Again, I just said it'd be easy for you. Why are you talking like this?
Why are y'all thinking about this?
So, Jason, would you like to supply your
Gary Oldman also killed so many Nazis.
You kill Nazis is an automatic win.
Wait, did he for real? Or are you
no.
just saying
that? No. I wish he did. That would make his legend even greater.
I'm gonna go with Gary Oldman.
Thank God, Lisa.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Gary Oldman too. All right. Here's one for you: Nick Cage or Dominic Purcell from Blade Trinity.
Oh, where he's not even Dracula, he's Drake. Oh, I'm Drake.
Yes.
Don't call me Dracula because that would just be too.
You can just relax, Jason. Okay, just like you're right here. Let's just bring it down a little bit. Okay.
Don't tone police me, Lisa. It's Nick Cage in my book.
Nick Cage, okay. All right, this is gonna be another one. Probably easy for Jason, but hard for me, Lisa, and myself. Nick Cage's Dracula or Rudolph Martin. That was the Dracula in Buffy.
Was he even because Buffy handled him pretty quickly.
He kept coming back, remember?
She's the
She's
Slayer.
the Slayer.
Yeah.
That's literally her job.
He wasn't even a problem for her.
That's literally her job. Like, it's not
I feel like you're
supposed
hating
to
right
be
now,
a
Jason.
problem.
I'm hating on his Dracula, yes.
I
You got
Buffy.
one job to do, is to fight that girl over there, and you can't even do it. She's
Buffy.
a child.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Girl power.
There we go. I mean, no one could really beat her. Only person that beat her was the Master.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, he really didn't beat her. He just
he killed her.
He drowned her. He didn't fisticuff beat her. He unbreakable her.
It's like how she got
she
shot.
Was like Bruce Willis from
here.
Unbreakable, right?
She was legitimately dead.
Oh, I agree.
Yes,
yeah, right.
She was dead enough to get another Slayer, but
yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, the black. Shout out to Kendra. Shout out to Kendra.
Yes,
the best Slayer.
Who's literally in everything ever.
She has been a teenager for 40 years.
I know. It's ridiculous. The amount of things that I see her, I'm like, that's Kendra. Hey, that's Kendra. Wait, how old is she? Man. I constantly Google her age because I can never remember.
She is 71 years old. She was 16 when she played in
Legend says she's still playing a 16-year-old.
Her and Angela Bassett are the same age. It's weird.
Yeah. They went to high school together. She was actually older than Angela Bassett.
Right. All right, that's all I got, man. It's a little game of this or that, guys. Nick Cage Dracula edition, guys. Don't worry, I'll work on getting a soundboard for us eventually. Integrated.
All right, moving right along. Hey, if you're here for the first time, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and all the other good stuff. Right. Good. I don't want to have this talk with you again, son. So just make sure you do that. All right.
Whoa.
Explorer Bruce Wayne accidentally unleashes an ancient evil, expediting his return to Gotham City after a 2-decade hiatus. The logic, science-driven Batman must battle supernatural forces threatening the sheer existence of Gotham. Along the way, he's being aided by Green Arrow and James Gordon, and confronted by Ra's al Ghul, Mr. Freeze, Killer Croc, Poison Ivy, and Two-Face. That was a really hard thing to find because apparently they don't want to put the synopsis of the movie on there. So I had to actually go to Wikipedia and use it. So, but that is the synopsis for Batman: The Doom That Came to Gotham. Now, if you don't know, now you know. For everything that we do a 1-sentence review. Jason, hit us with your 1-sentence review.
Oh man, I'm not used to going first ever. My 1-sentence review is when the fake ass Jason Todd was an Indian, I knew this shit was doomed.
Lisa, hit us with your 1 sentence review.
Is this the Doom of the DCU?
Oh, wow.
Damn. No, they already did that.
Thank you, Zack Snyder.
This is proof that given enough prep time, Batman can defeat anyone, including an existential nightmare-inducing eldritch gods.
Wow, there we go.
Yeah, see,
all right.
I liked it. I went to college too, Lisa.
Good job, Jason. Wow.
Steve's got them degrees,
Wow.
and now he's using it.
Wow.
No, Steve's did not get them degrees.
I graduated cum laude. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay. We'll talk your ish, girl.
Yeah, go ahead and give me your pros and cons. Or
give
your
us
pros.
give us your pros, Lisa.
Okay, pros. I like the animation. Like, I like the way the movie looked. Girl power. And the fight scenes were, I thought, really good. They were fun. Cons were boring and confusing beginning and middle.
We'll wait on the cons.
My bad. Sorry. That's all I got. That's all I got good to say about that.
No cons. Right.
Lisa's messed up the formula.
I'm sorry, y'all. I forget. I'm new. I'm sorry.
I'll jump right in. My pros for Batman the Doom. Batman is a beast. Again, prep time to beat anybody. Some of the reimagined characters actually works really, really well. Some, and we'll get to that later on. And I have a couple of them that I did really, really enjoy. I did like the, I guess, Carrie Kelly / Stephanie Brown / whatever character of the okay. I liked Harvey Dent a lot, and my other pro is going to go to another one too. This may be the best interpretation of Green Arrow ever. Sorry, Stephen Amell. Sorry.
Don't think of Stephen like that.
I'm just saying this interpretation of Green Arrow is amazing. But all right, those are my pros.
Rebuttal. Don't you do Stephen Amell like that.
Stephen Amell heard. Anything you can add to that? No.
All right. For my pros, it's an interesting blend of the Batman mythos with Lovecraft. I thought that was pretty interesting. The adaptations of the fan characters fit the world pretty well. The art style, it's okay. It's fine. It's passable. And it did keep a good job of making the theme relevant to the story. Those are my pros.
All right. Man, we got no rebuttals here. Lisa. Your
now
cons.
you can do
gods. Okay, so my cons are boring and confusing beginning and middle. It could have literally been a movie about anything. You didn't need Batman in it. I thought that the pacing was kind of bad. So that meant like too much maybe exposition. So maybe they talk too much, more fighting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we talking? Throw these hands.
Right? Oh man, a lot of my cons are going to remedy this, kind of falling out of it. Some of the reimagines are just total misses. Mr. Freeze is a total just miss for me. He's just a plot device in this movie. Didn't really even need him in there. And then you give us an awesome scene of the Penguin and do nothing with it. Again, just some of the reimagines I wish they would have done more with that had some great concepts. What's up?
I was going to say the Penguin wasn't even in it.
Like he was in the Antarctica thing, and then that was it. That was it. They must knew this was going to possibly suck because they threw every single character they could find in Batman in this story that did not need it at all. They threw everything in this one, guys. And we say everybody, I'm talking like Killer Croc, Poison Ivy. They throw everybody in here, man.
Only person they threw in there is Clue Master.
right. Condiment King did not make an appearance.
Why is that Condiment King?
Condiment Man did not show up either. So
where's Kite Man? Where is he at?
This was going to be jacked up, and that's why that E for Everyone rating is terrible. But we have to stop doing Dick like this. We're supposed to love Dick. Take that out how you want to take it. Yeah, I mean, off camera kill. Come on, guys.
Oh, dude.
Come on, guys. Like, what are we doing here? And then you did all of this to basically tell a Ra's al Ghul story that ended up not being a Ra's al Ghul story. Yeah. So those are my cons. Jason? Oh, and I think I was with Lisa about the pacing being terribly slow.
Rebuttal.
All right, rebuttal, go for it.
Here are my cons. This shit is slow as hell. I mean, like it was like, you know, when they started in the Arctic, it didn't warm up from there. It was slower than those glaciers. Number 2, they killed my boy Dick Grayson like a punk off screen. Doesn't even get a fucking. It's horrible. It's dumb. It's disrespectful. That's what it is.
Yeah, it is. Facts.
Shameful.
The story, as Lisa said, is convoluted, and it seems like the pieces that you're trying to put the puzzle together doesn't really make a satisfying conclusion on how the story ends. It doesn't seem like any of it that shit mattered, really. It just seemed like they were just doing shit until the end. And then my last con is he solves all this by turning into a giant bat.
Yeah, man bat.
Get the fuck out of here.
Addendum.
Okay.
Addendum. Not a rebuttal, an addendum.
Yeah, an addendum. Let's add on to that. I think we all have an addendum about that, but go ahead.
The fact that they had this amazing, like you said, Green Arrow, like the Night Green Arrow, so flipping cool. And then at the end, you have him like zombie Green Arrow, and when he dies, he's like, "Thank you." Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, are you kidding me? That's what you do. Like, none of the Bat family's like, "Thank you." Like, he's literally
like, no,
killing
you
him.
brought us into this shit. Fuck you.
Yeah, so it was I was just like, what am I watching? Okay, the end. That's it. That's the end of my day.
And addendum, I forgot that because you just mentioned it. Like, yes, he turned into a bat, but man bat's in the movie.
Yeah,
like dead.
Like, he could have solved it. Like, you could have made him turn the man bat. Hey, go ahead and fight that monster over there. I'm gonna sit here and have all my friends and family still live through this shit because all we needed was you in the first place. Like, get out of here.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Jason, do you have any questions for us or any?
I have a couple of questions. Besides Lovecraft, what other universes would you think would pair well with the Batman experience?
Man,
with this Batman experience?
No, not with Batman in general. Yeah.
Oh.
Not...
I mean, I feel like anything. I mean, we've seen future Batman. Shout out to one of the greatest shows ever.
Batman Beyond.
But I would think, you know what? I think if they actually did, I remember in the books where Darkseid hits him with the mega beams and it just sends Bruce Wayne back into the past. Yeah. So like a pirate Batman would be great. A caveman Batman, like all the ones that he had in the comics. I'm all here for that. I mean, the best thing about Batman is just his ability to think his way through things. So you could almost put him in any kind of genre and environment because he's not overpowered, but he's not a simpleton either. So
it's like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, like he's not Shazam. Like
I'm just gonna make movie references the entire time. Hopefully it works out. Lisa, do you have anything off the top of your head?
I mean, off the top of my head, I think sorry.
She's dying.
I'm literally dying today. I think I would like to see, because when you mentioned Shazam, I would kind of like to see a teenage Bruce Wayne, like, and not like Batman Begin, not like and but I want to see like maybe even he's a grown up and so he knows everything, but then he comes back as a teenager. I don't know, but I would like to see some kind of not origins, like he's is Batman
going on 13.
He's just
Batman.
A teenager, yeah, because I feel like we kind of get. They kind of do that with all the cajillion Robins, but I would like to see that. But
I mean, we got that show. It was called Fillmore. Look it up, guys. Look it up. That's a cartoon. I don't know if you ever seen Fillmore before, Jason?
I've never seen Fillmore before.
Oh man, it's with a black dude. The black dude's a lead in it, and he's like a hall monitor, but he's a detective. So in the school, he solves like cases.
That's so cute.
It's so awesome. Like Fillmore, like growing up was my it was my thing, man.
With an F or is it PH?
F.
Okay.
I think it would have been too black if it was with a PH. They'd have canceled him immediately.
Get out of here with that. For me, I would like to see Batman in Twilight because I would love to see him kick Edward Cullen's ass. Why are you dating his children? No, but seriously, as you said, like I like the fact that Batman is like capable, and he's not overpowered. So pretty much putting him in anything. I like to see him in like a zombie, like Walking Dead universe, where he has to figure out like, and I think it'd be interesting to watch him survive a zombie apocalypse with all his kids. Like, I got to pick all these damn kids.
Well, somebody got to die. Probably
has that not exist? That they haven't done that
yet. They've done the Deceased, which is like not really like zombies. It's like they were trying to copy the Marvel zombies thing, and it's not really all. And they're super powered zombies, and I'm like, that's not fun. I don't need thinking zombies. That's dumb. That's not zombies.
Yeah.
That's just
yeah.
I remember this show.
Yeah.
I used to have a crush on this girl. This is where my Wednesday thing comes. Okay. It reinforced.
Everybody,
for people listening, I just put up Fillmore.
If you're super moody, wear black fingernail polish.
Goth bitches, man.
Like indie rock, but don't want anybody to know that you like it. Hit Jason up.
Also, you gotta like black people too.
Yeah. Don't be one of them. Like, I'm gonna date you because you're one of the good ones. That will only work for 4 years, and after that,
4 years, just enough to impregnate him. That's all, Jason.
Yeah. Done. How'd you guys like the animation style? Lisa touched on it briefly. I thought it was fine.
Yeah. I read that. I read that there was. I don't know if it said that it was in the Gaslight. If it was like made by the same Gaslight people, or they were just trying to copy it or whatever, but it felt like it could be in the Gaslight.
I thought it was a sequel to Gaslight when I first started watching it, because the uniform, the outfit is pretty much
the
same.
Yeah, but Gaslight would have been like 30 years before, 40 years, because that's like the end
Gaslight
of the 1800s.
Was way better than this fucking movie for sure.
Everybody likes Gaslight.
Well, everybody likes to get gaslit too, so that's fine.
Yeah, I love being gaslit. Just lie to me. I don't know. Make me think like I'm crazy. I know that Jason had some opinions about a certain character being brought into this universe. Especially Dick Grayson didn't fare so well. But were there any other Bat characters you would have thought would have been fared better in this movie if they brought into this universe? Any ones that you would like to have seen included besides the ones they did include?
I mean, we all could get more Catwoman in our lives. Like, they should have did Catwoman, but they should have did it like Eartha Kitt style. So it should have been a black woman.
Because especially like how in Lucius Fox is like, well, they don't like me running this thing, so I thank God you back. Right? Lisa, anybody that you would like to see besides Condiment King, obviously?
No. I'm good. I don't want to see anybody in this because it's just too much. So I'm good. I couldn't handle one more fucking thing in this movie.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, what was it? Penguin, Man-Bat,
Jason
Killer
Blood,
Croc.
Jason
Blood. Yep.
Poison Ivy for like 2 seconds. Talia Ghul, Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah, like you said, Poison Ivy,
Two-Face,
Green Arrow. Yep, Two-Face.
Green Arrow. Like, who knew that Green Arrow lived in Gotham?
Actually, you know what? The better story in all of this would have been like seeing Oliver get the arrows and then coming back to fight. That should have been a story. That should have been the thing.
He should have died.
Anyway,
he should have died. I was so mad. I'm like, dude, he's like literally the best character in this.
By far.
And like, I wish I had a secret sept where I have, ancient magical gear that I've been collecting so I can fight off maddening eldritch beings. These are the arrows that pierced Christ's side. Well, that proves that God doesn't exist.
Okay. On that note, let's wrap it up, y'all.
God invented that.
Let's wrap it up.
But I don't think they were. Was it Jesus? I don't think it was Jesus. They got.
I don't remember. It was like Saint. It was Saint somebody. It was Saint.
Yeah.
Somebody made.
Yeah, Jesus, Saint guys, same people. All right.
Yeah. I don't know. All right, pros and cons all together. The Rock's rundown.
Well, we can. Let's go ahead. Lisa, what are your pros and cons?
Okay, so the rundown. The animation's good. Girl power. Fight scenes were fun. Cons: boring and confusing beginning and middle. Super bad pacing. Too much exposition. Too many characters. What was this movie even about? The end.
Your score. Hey, what would you give the rating for it?
I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5 because it's still Batman. So
Batman gets 1 point.
I'm gonna say Batman commands that many points. Wow,
he gets 1 point.
Yeah.
All right, Jason, give us your rundown. Batman, the Doom that goes to Gotham City. Blah 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 blah.
It's Batman, the Doom that comes to Gotham. Or
there you go.
I don't fucking know.
It's doomed.
It's Gotham came.
Pros: an interesting blend of Batman and mythos and with Lovecraft. The adaptation made from fan favorite characters. Some of them work pretty well. The art side is pretty cool. The art style is pretty cool. Not the art side. I don't know what I'm talking about. And it kept a good job of keeping the theme relevant of the father's sins passed on to the son to the story. Cons: it is slower than me trying to do math. It is so slow. They killed off my boy Dick Grayson like a punk. It seems that all the clues and stuff didn't really matter to the conclusion of the story. And then lastly, he turns into a giant bat at the end.
Lame-o.
Yeah, that's whack.
I'm gonna go with 2 out of 5. 2 out of 5.
2 out of 5. Wow. All right. At least I got that reference.
Of course I did.
My rundown for the Doom that Gotham came into. Pros. Pros. This Batman shows that we're prep time. Batman can do anything and everything. Some of the reimagined characters are really, really inventive, and I dug it. This may be the best interpretation of Green Arrow ever. Sorry, Stephen Amell. My cons are some of the reimaginings totally missed the mark and are terrible. Shout out to Mr. Freeze. They Must Do This is going to suck because they do almost every character you could think of in the Batman universe in there for either cameos or
Superman made it more interesting.
Yeah, right. Or insignificant roles. We got to stop doing Dick like this, getting killed off screen. We love Dick. And you did a Ra's al Ghul story that did not really need Ra's al Ghul at all. And like everybody else, the pacing is too slow. You guys are generous, man. I'm struggling giving this a 1.5 or a 1. Like I didn't enjoy this at all, except for like Batman shenanigans. Other than that, I was like, once I saw that hand of Dick's, I was like, man, this is terrible. Yeah, I'm gonna give it.
Stop.
I'm gonna give it a 1. I'm not even going to sugarcoat. I was gonna give it a 0.5. Now I'm just gonna give it a 1. It's you guys. You could duck this if you want.
I just want you guys to know that I used my ebook credits to pay for this movie, and I'm very upset. I am like
Lisa.
I could be reading a romance novel right now, but I had to watch that fucking thing.
You don't have to go for movies.
Yes, I do.
No, you do not.
Okay, but we can't talk about Papado giving us free meals, but you're saying
what are you talking about?
I'm not saying nothing. I have no idea what Jason's talking about. These thoughts and actions are Jason's and solely his, not the product of Headcanon Circus.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
The business.
I had to pay. I had to use my hard-earned Kindle ebook credits for this movie.
How many
Next time when I come over, I'll check on the Amazon thing because I told my wife about that and she was shocked too because either we just got too many people or anyway. But we'll talk about that another
35 dudes in your account.
Oh hell yeah, the whole hood, bruh. Hey.
It's like a party line back in the 50s. Like everybody has the same Amazon account.
Shipping all over the world for one account. All right.
Okay.
All right, that was I don't have any fun game after that one. So
okay.
How many bats does it take to screw in a light bulb? None, because he would get his butler to do it.
Facts.
All right, here we go. Going along with the theme of this thing, this show just sucks. Just keep doing it. Gotham City is now not only terrorized by the insidious villain, the Joker, and the Penguin, but also the night's most feared creature, Dracula. It's up to Batman to stop the ruthless vampire before he enslaves the entire city. That is the synopsis that Google has written for the Batman versus Dracula. Now, if you don't know, now you know. Everything we do a 1-sentence review. Lisa, go ahead and give us your 1-sentence review for the Batman versus Dracula.
This sucky Joker is amazing.
I love it. The puns.
The puns. Jason, hit us.
This proves that sometimes Batman with prep time still gets his ass beat.
That is ass beat. My 1-sentence review is the Joker is black now. I will be not answering any further questions.
Because PR firm
closed.
Black. That's the way it is.
Sorry. I'll jumpstart this with my pros for the Dracula versus Batman. So pros, always love the look of this Batman. Like I think the way he looks, the cape, and I always love that montage. It's very like Power Rangers-esque where they have him suit up. I think it's always dope every time I watch his cartoon and he does it. I love it. Also, a throwback sighting, Vicky Vale. Feel like we should get more Vicky Vale and everything. Like, you know, it just makes it feel right. This Dracula is just smooth, chill, but I do love the shout outs to him being like afraid of garlic and craziness like that. But I also love that his fighting style mimics his personality. When he's in smooth mode, he's smooth, but then when he gets fierce, he turns it up. And then, as we're all probably going to comment, yes, a vampiric Joker, it can't get no better than that. Jason, what are your pros?
My pros. The Batman is an underrated show. I wish I'd watched it when it was actually on the air. I enjoy it more now than I did back then, but it's underrated. Echoing your point, the art style / animation, it's on point. It's enjoyable. This style is really, really good. And my last pro is SpongeBob plays the Penguin.
Oh,
that's it.
I'm rebutting. Why is that a pro? We have to be happy.
SpongeBob plays the Penguin.
Yeah.
Is that a pro? I mean,
I will not answer any further questions.
I mean, can it be like Phil Lamar or somebody like that? I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. It's SpongeBob. Okay,
SpongeBob.
All right.
Lisa,
then let's move on right on over to Lisa then.
So again, love the animation style. I love the big bold lines, big bold colors. It is the cartoons that very nostalgic. And also I've said the voice acting. Anytime you have Tara Strong in it, it's going to be just great.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then SpongeBob, and then I can't remember the guy's name is for the Joker, but he was also a voice actor.
Kevin Michael Richardson.
And I had it.
He's in a lot of shit.
He's in a lot of shit, and it was like a big deal, that he was in it, and so it's Batman. So that's a great pearl.
Addendum. I follow Tara Strong on TikTok. She is fine.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Fine.
So
yes.
She is
fine. Yes. God gave her a little something when he made her. He said, "Here you go, here you go, boo. Here you go, boo. Let me give you a little bit more. I like you the best."
Just kisses on the forehead. I'll go.
I love how that's Jason's addendum too. He's like, "Hey, just want to point this out for folks that may not know." Respect there. Okay, I guess we move on to the cons of it all. And my cons are for a cartoon movie, it doesn't move as fast as I thought it would. Making the Penguin the comic relief, I feel like, is a waste. Dracula's plan was whack as hell. I don't even remember what his plan really was. It came like, "Hey, I'm gonna live here," to being like, you know what? Maybe we could do some more with that. It was just a terrible plan. I didn't realize that. And I have a huge beef. You cannot cure vampirism unless it's a terrible storyline for Vampire Diaries. Other than that, you cannot cure vampirism. It's a permanent.
You just can't look at a microscope for 3 days and figure out vampirism. Come on,
no,
he's Batman.
No. Yes, he's Batman. All right, Jason, your cons.
Yeah, this did not need to be an hour and a half. Felt like every single minute of it was on this. I feel like they should have pushed the concept of Batman fighting Dracula further. They could have added. I'll get to my next point. They could have pushed this concept a little further. They nerfed the Joker in this. Like he gets, half the story he's missing because everybody thinks he's dead, and then he easily succumbs to Dracula, and then like as soon as before he can be vampire Joker, Batman's like, I got you, you're mine now. So they nerfed him so badly. They should have blended these two properties better, like added more Batman stuff or added more Dracula stuff, something on those lines. And the way that Dracula ends up in Gotham is just dumb. Like they must have killed me and then shit me here. Like why?
No man's land, baby. No man's land.
They're like, oh, we'll just send them over there. It's fine. Who cares? That's it.
All right.
I did them. Terror Strong is fine.
You can't have dimmed them your own time. You had the time. You had the floor.
She's almost too fine.
Okay. Okay, so cons. God. Finding a cure for vampirism. What is this, Blade? No, lazy writing. Get out of here. Get out of here with that. Batman literally has a million toys to face off against everyone in the Justice League. He can take on the Flash. Dracula should be a cakewalk.
He's like, I don't know how to figure this out.
Yeah, get out of here with that. It felt very dated. Like it didn't. I just don't think that this movie has aged well, because there's several Batman animated movies that I've watched that I'm like, oh my God, this is over 10 years old. And this one I'm like, is this 30 years old? Like, how old is this fucking movie?
Vicky Vale got a flip phone.
And and con, Vicky Vale, I forgot she existed. Like
so did this movie.
Whenever they said Vicky Vale, I was like, oh, yep, I'm not gonna lie, I thought she was just a Michael Keaton, Tim Burton thing. I forgot that she was like an actual character. And I think that's part of showing how dated it is. Like, we would never have Vicky Vale. And that lends to, like, late 90s, early 2000s, like when this movie was, I think, 2005.
Yeah.
Everything had to have like a female type of love interest. Like, it had to be focused on that. And it felt like, okay, like, she's literally there just to be Bruce's plaything, like, and he's treats her like garbage, and she's still like, "Oh,
I love this guy.
Some creepy guy is following me, but I guess you're too busy to answer your phone." I'm like,
see you tomorrow.
No.
I like the rebuttal that my rebuttal is that typically outside of like Catwoman and like sometimes when they have to fling with Wonder Woman, all the women in Gotham are pretty like stupid when it comes to Bruce Wayne. Like,
I agree.
It's like a thing.
Addendum to Lisa's thing. Vicky Vale is a reporter. She knows people are going missing throughout Gotham, and she's still like, I'm gonna ride the train home. I'm gonna ride the train home at night. I missed my train. This like, are you admits it to him? She's like, yeah, the lost ones. Like, also, how fucked up is it that people are getting kidnapped and they're like, yeah, we're gonna name the lost ones. All right, sorry. Yeah, name for
it. That's it. That's my time. I'm good. Y'all go. Be free.
Okay. So one of the questions I have on this is be free is voice acting. Batman. Like, dislike. Where are your feelings about this voice actor playing Batman? Because we get iconic people that play Batman, voice Batman. So
I feel like this guy, I think his name is Ronnie Romano, is passable. I mean, like, he doesn't stick out, but he's not egregiously bad, right? So it's like he's there. It's like when Diedrich Bader does it. It's like, okay, it's a fair imitation, so it's not like it's bad. Everybody else is great. Everybody else is great. I mean, like I've said this before, but like this is one of my favorite incarnations of Joker, in this series, because like all the other Jokers kind of trying to do the same thing.
Because it's Jamaican.
I was about to say, because why? Tell me why.
but this one feels a little bit more feral.
Does capoeira and everything, and when he fights,
yeah, it's just like on my way.
Yeah,
it's like, why are you dancing right now, Joker? We about to scrap. Like,
right.
Put the music on. Put the Prince on. Here we go.
Batman's like, is this a hate crime? Like,
yeah, but everybody else is great.
But what about you, Lisa? Because Dean Winchester has been Batman at one point. So.
I know, and I feel like he's a little too generic. Like, because especially when I was looking up who all the voice actor, because that's like what you do whenever it's something as iconic as Batman animated movies. You always look to see who's playing because it's always a kind of like a big payoff, and he's done a lot of voice acting, so he's a voice actor, but I felt like Bruce was a little too generic, a little too white, a little too
well, he's
basic. I know, but there's always kind of like he didn't even play the arrogant dick well, like Batman or Bruce Wayne, especially because I appreciate it whenever they have two different voice actors for like Batman and Bruce Wayne. I kind of always like that a little bit. And then when they will still do the voice different, you get that growly. And I think that kind of came later whenever Batman was a little bit darker. Like this is where we were talking about when I was watching the movie, I was thinking of the S word, which made me think of the W word, which I don't know if we're allowed to say, and I'm not trying to get canceled.
Is it
so? Wuss? Yeah.
I think we can say wuss.
Okay.
Hold on. If I can't say the S word, we can't say the W word.
Because that word is particularly towards someone's sexuality. I don't think wuss is. But hey, if you
probably is.
Like, you know what? Wuss is actually a slang for a Jewish person. That's how it's gonna throw
I'm just not gonna say it. Jason said it plenty of times, so but I felt like it was kind of like the W-fication of like that's kind of how like Batman was in this movie. A little too. He was just a little too cautious and didn't want to like. I don't know. It was just, it's okay for him to be like kind of sexist and a terrible human, but it's not okay for him to like kill people. Like, I don't know. And so that's why I like the darker Batmans. I like the Batman who's going to beat someone with an inch of his life because I'm psycho. And I like so I appreciate the crazy unhinged Batman / Bruce Wayne. This guy was a little too goody two shoes for me.
All right, Jason, give us the answer on wuss because I know you probably looked it up really quickly.
Oh, well, it's the etymology. It's a slang for pussy.
Gotcha.
Oh, I can say that.
Okay, I was like, yes.
You can call someone a pussy, but you can't call someone a wuss.
I like how we
got it.
The W word for wuss, but we straight ran into the P word with no stop signs.
Firstly, that is a medical term.
Yes, I got another appointment to look at this woman's P word at 10:30. Yeah. All right. As we try to get back on the rails somehow. This is a question primarily aimed at Jason, but Lisa, you also joined in. I know you guys talked about the animation style. You liked it, the bold lines, and etc. I want to speak about the action fight scenes. As I argue with Jaren all the time, they dropped a lot of frames in a lot of these fight scenes. Did it bother you, or did you make it, or did you like it or not, basically?
There was only really one fight scene that actually stood out to me as actually being good, and that's when he's fighting all the vampires in the cave before the end, and everything else is like, it's passable. But the one where he actually is like with the vials and he's flipping around, and that was the only one I was like, okay, this is where they put their money in. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but yeah, everything. I mean, it's a straight to DVD movie off of a 2004 cartoon show. This is not going to be top tier. This is not Warner Brothers Animation Studio who did this. Okay. It's the whatever poor Korean person they forced the slave labor to draw this did this, and they worked 85 hours in a day to get this out in 2 weeks.
Whoa. Yeah. So I think that yeah, I think that the last fight scene was the only scene worth even mentioning. Everything else was kind of forgettable, regardless of frames or anything. It was just like, roundhouse kick, stupid shit. Like, yeah. So I agree with Jason.
That's interesting. I feel like, because I felt like, for me, yes, I think the final fight scene with the Thing was probably the most, let's say, fluid fight scene. Mm-hmm. But I really enjoyed like the Batman and Dracula encounter when he was whooping his ass in the alley and all that. Also, side note, how did he pass out in the middle of the day and then still make it to the cave? Like, nobody on the street was like, "Hey, they're Batman!
Oh shit, they're Batman right there." Let's see if he got a wallet.
Right? He got cred.
Nobody was like, "Hey, why Batman catching a bus with us?" Right?
Was it
all grumpy and shit?
Was it the first Tim Burton Batman where people were trying to steal the tires off of the Batmobile, or was that?
It was.
Was that a Tim Burton one, or was that
was a Tim Burton one because because he's the one that had the armor that deployed.
Yeah, that scene still cracks me up. I love it because that's just how it be.
I mean,
Batman
he literally lives
and walked home
in the fictional version of Detroit. So yeah, I would definitely steal the car. Like, those are some nice tires.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And if Bruce Wayne uses money to actually help poor people, then maybe he wouldn't have to worry about it.
Well, and that's the other thing that I want to talk about. I forgot. Is Batman was disappointed that somebody was there already to help before. Like, so someone was getting robbed. I think a female was getting robbed.
Yeah.
And
Batman. I'm sorry. And then Dracula stopped the robbery, and Batman is literally like, "Oh, I guess you don't need my help." Like, fuck you, Batman. Like, you like literally only are happy if people are legit in danger. Like, I'm supposed to root for you. Don't do that to me.
He was supposed to see Vicky Vale that night, and that was the only way he was going to get it up. So,
yeah, I mean, we know he is.
We know why he does.
He is the Knight. So if he can't binge in the night, it's a lost day for him. Like, people start helping people. Shit, there's no way for Batman.
Yeah, he doesn't really want things to be better. He's just feeding his own ego. And I love Batman. Yeah. I am a Batman stan. Sometimes I don't like it when it's like thrown in my face that he's problematic, and
he's a legit billionaire who has all the resources in the world, and what he chooses to do with them is just like a bat and beat up mentally ill people.
Yeah, instead of putting money into mental hospitals,
and then send them back to the same hospital that is objectively worse for them, makes it even worse. It doesn't help.
Like Batman's not even. He's not even progressive or, I guess, degressive enough to be like, hey, you know what? I'm a billionaire. I'm probably going to be a conservative Republican, and we're just going to pump more money into policing and into the prison system. Like, he can't even be that devolved to be like, hey, when we lock these people up, we'll give them the best security and all of the trinkets that people could never get out. He won't even do that. Like, he's like,
he wants them to get out.
That's what I want to say, because he knows if he stops the problem, he loses his job. Yeah.
It's like that movie. What's the movie? It has Greg Kinnear and Mystery Men.
Mystery Men, yeah.
Where like Greg Kinnear is like the hero, and he purposely lets the villain out of prison because he's like
the sponsors.
Yeah. And let's be real, like Batman is a mentally ill person, so I mean, he literally lives off the trauma of his parents' death, like without any help. He's mentally ill. That's what he does. He beats people's faces in.
25 to 40-year-old man who has not gone to therapy for his traumas, and instead of doing things about like actually healing and growing, he instead enlists the help of orphans to help him beat up mentally ill people.
Maybe he has a really high deductible and doesn't have good health insurance.
he goes to therapy. Because what's the chick? The one that
Dr. Leslie is not his therapist.
No, she is his therapist. The problem is that when you're the smartest person in the room, you don't listen to anybody else. Like
Chase Meridian in Batman Forever, she was a therapist.
Yeah, well, that one.
Like, I'm gonna smash.
At one point, he went to
bad therapists do not have sex with their clients.
Listen, also a one Harleen Quinzel. It was,
but by the time Batman got to her, she was already damaged.
Yeah. What's the other one? Hugo Strange. He's gone to different people, but again,
all these people are bad for him.
Oh, I agree, but my point is that the ones that were good for him, when you think you're the smartest person in the room, which Batman definitely does, how do you receive therapy? Because everything they tell you, you probably
by
already
opening
know.
your heart
and your wallet.
And your wallet. Hugo Strange's like, I'm going to use this against you. Like, fuck you,
right.
Maybe those are the only doctors that his HMO pays for. So,
Wayne Industries has the worst healthcare plan.
Probably.
Even for their CEO. It's like, nah, man. That's out of network. You can't even go over there.
Got the court-appointed therapist. That's the only one you can afford. So
the deductible is $7.5 million.
The last one I have for you is: did this movie even really need Dracula?
No.
For real.
It could have just been Vampire Joker, and that would have been
right.
Like, that would have been fine. That would have been awesome. Yeah. Vampire Joker. Let's just do that. Nope. Dracula.
And what do they call him? Alderhead?
Alucard. Which has been used before because, like, obviously Batman don't play no video games because he just played Castlevania. He would have figured that out.
Castlevania, yep. Yeah.
It's like Voldemort, I am Tom Riddle shit. Like, ooh, let me just hold up to a mirror.
And that scene, I'm just like, Batman, you're genuinely a moron. He's like, what are you doing? Writing it down so I can hold up. You couldn't figure out that Alucard spells Dracula back. Leave.
Also, too, now was it me? And I know you guys are more the Harry Potter fanatics. And I know we could probably say that for another time to talk about Batman, but the whole I am Tom Riddle thing in Voldemort, like, were we supposed to get that? Because I feel like I never would have guessed that unless they told.
How are we gonna know? Because we never heard of Tom Riddle ever.
I was just making sure because they made it like in the movie. They made it reveal so big, like, oh, you idiots! You should have caught me, haha. And I'm like, how do we?
J.K. Rowling has a particular writing style that goes, we're going to do this thing, and here's the solution to the problem at the end. And it was never a solution to begin with from when the story started. So I believe there's
glad we covered that. We got that out the way.
Now, when the first time I read it, did I write it down and see if it actually does it? Yes, I did. But
does it? Does it do it?
It does. Tom. Well, I am Lord Voldemort is it does.
Yeah, if you put the words I am in there, it was definitely an anagram.
Yes.
No one's gonna do that.
Well, clearly Tom Riddle is.
Yes. All right. And I guess let's go on down to the rundown where we list all our pros and cons for what did we watch again? The
Batman versus the Dracula.
So my rundown for the Batman versus the Dracula is pros. This Batman looks great. Looks like he's on fleek. Yeah, so he looks very fetch.
Quit making
it's totally catching on.
Right. Exactly.
If a black dude says it's going to be used eventually.
Oh, absolutely. But I'm washed though. Vicky Vale in the movie, I'll accept it because I ain't seen her in a while. And Dracula's pretty smooth, and his fighting style matches his temperament, which I think is awesome. And we get a vampiric Joker. My cons for cartoon movie, I felt like this should have moved a lot faster. Making the Penguin comedic relief is just a terrible idea. The Cobblepots deserve better. Dracula's plan was whack as hell because I don't even know what his plan was at this point. And you cannot cure vampirism unless it's the Vampire Diaries. And my ranking for the Batman versus Dracula, I will give this a 2. Jason, what do you have for us? What is your rundown of the Batman versus Dracula?
All right, so for The Rock's rundown for Batman versus Dracula, my pros are the Batman was an underrated show. The art style and animation is very enjoyable, and SpongeBob plays the Penguin. My cons are this did not need to be an hour and a half. They don't push the concept of Batman fighting Dracula far enough. They fucking nerfed the Joker. They should have blended the two properties way better, either by introducing more Bat characters or more Dracula lore. And the way the Dracula ends up in Gotham is just plain dumb. Poor writing. My rating for this, I'm going to give it a 2.5 out of 5.
I
can't give it a 3.
All right, Lisa, what is your rundown for the Batman versus Dracula?
Okay, so cons are going to be the Vampire Joker. I love the animation style, the big, bold outlining, the bold colors. It is a fantastic plethora of great voice actors of the early 2000s. Anything that has Tara Strong is going to be fantastic, in my opinion. It's Batman, so, that's the pro. Cons are finding a cure for vampirism. What is this, Blade? I don't think so. That's lazy writing. Batman has plenty of toys. He knows how to fight off against every single member of the Justice League. He should not even be having an issue fighting Dracula. It should be a cakewalk. This felt very dated. It has not aged well. It felt long, even though it was an hour and a half. And Vicky Vale, I forgot that you existed. It isn't hate. It isn't love. It's just indifference.
Hey
there. So I gave this a 3.5 out of 5 because of Tara Strong, the Joker. Batman automatically gets 2 points. So
now, I will have to address this, and I meant to rebuttal what you said this other time because all the smarty marks will go, well, he hasn't met the Justice League yet in this continuity, and he's still a young Batman. That's how smarty marks will tell you.
They can suck my.
Yep.
Because later on in the series, he does meet Superman, and he does get a Robin, he does get Batgirl. So this incarnation doesn't really know that the Justice League can be a threat.
Because his match is like in downtown Gotham too. He's not even like even outside of the city limits. He stays.
That doesn't even make sense. How is there a mansion just literally? Okay, it's fine.
There's matches.
He's a man of people.
Before we move on from this, I got a question for you that I just thought up of. Since it's Batman versus Dracula, here's a question. I know what the answer is going to be. Do you think Batman could beat Lestat? And what superhero could actually beat Lestat? And I'm talking about specifically the TV show one.
I mean, I get that, but like, I'm curious. Are you saying like if he just meets him one-on-one, doesn't know anything about him, just on the street, like
no, if he figure out who Lestat was?
Yes, he's Batman.
So super speed, freezing time Lestat. Yes, Batman's like, I got you.
Figure something out. That's what he does.
Figure something out. Okay. I've seen Goku fight a villain that had freezing time power. So I'm just going to say Superman then, because Goku could do it, Superman could do it. I think if
Superman can do it, then Goku can do it, not the other way around.
No,
Goku could
get out of here with that.
Yeah, Superman's more powerful than Goku. Period.
No.
Yes. Go ahead, Jason. I'm sorry.
We'll save this debate for another day. I'll write that in my notes.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Right? Next time on Head Cannon Circus, we'll just be like Superman. Ah! Next time on Head Cannon Circus.
Friendship ends over who thinks who can beat other.
Previously on Head Cannon Circus, Jason and Lisa faced off.
Right.
Look, Superman's unbearable. Well, Goku can give you.
Stop! We're giving him too much. We gotta wait till next time on Head Cannon Circus. Lisa rebuts Jason's comments.
Dumb motherfucker.
The only person I think legitimately, if we really wanted to argue and pinch penny about it, that would beat Lestat would be Martian Manhunter. His ability to phase and his ability with mind control could battle Lestat's attempt to overtake his mind. And then if he does freeze time, he could probably phase himself so Lestat couldn't physically harm him if he stopped time. That would be my real answer.
Good choice. That's a good choice.
But Batman would hire Martian Manhunter to come do it. Therefore, Batman found the answer.
It's true.
So
that's probably right.
He therefore saves the day.
It's like, I got you. Bah, Martian Manhunter. Show
Is he gone? Is he done? You did it? good team victory, or is it just a
this is all me? This is all me, Batman. Batman did this.
Teamwork.
You mean Batman's the man that comes up with the plans? What if the plan doesn't work? Then I come up with another one.
Yeah, it's fine. You got this all day.
There was an episode of Justice League Unlimited where the Justice League get their asses handed to it, and Green Arrow calls for backup, and they send Speedy, the Question, and I want to say Vigilante, and he's like, "We are going to die."
Yeah.
He said, "These guys, we are dead," and I feel like that's the Batman's like, "We are going to die."
Well, and that's what if you read the Death of Superman and not watch the movie, that's why the movie kind of pisses me off. But if you read the Death of Superman, they send all like the B and C list heroes to fight Doomsday, and he like massacres them.
Oh yeah,
so that's why I hate the movie, because the movie
he
brings the Justice League to fight him, and then he massacres the Justice League, and you're like, well, then Superman had no shot in hell. Like, if the whole Justice League is getting wiped by this guy, like, Superman's over with. Like, anyway, that's
also what I hated about what's the Justice League movie is like all Batman gets all these superheroes together and they can't even fight Steppenwolf. And then when Superman shows up, it's like, why are you guys even struggling? This was easy.
Barely an inconvenience.
What, like hard?
I'm not even sweating. I have been dead for 2 years and I haven't worked out. I haven't even had a full meal yet. And I did this. Like, why are we even
the sun hasn't even fully recharged me yet. Like,
why are y'all even here?
He like beats him. It's like, oh, let me take a second and save this apartment building full of people too, and I'll come right back.
Stop beating the fuck out of this dude so I can go help people. Like, y'all are useless.
Except for Cyborgs, they didn't do like the
mother box thing.
Yeah, that made no sense. Let's not talk about that. It just makes me mad. How do you mess up the Trinity? Like, that's the easiest thing to write for. Hey, bad guy here. Hey, Justice League, beat up bad guy. The end.
It's almost like they're trying to make it bad. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, later on down the road, you find out that they were like spies.
I just imagine
like MCU spies, like put in there to purposely make shit bad just so DCU sucks.
That'd be awesome.
I agree. It doesn't make sense for it to be that bad.
James, or what's his face? Zack Snyder is just Kevin Feige in a really bad mustache.
Right.
Like, yes. Hello. I am Zack Snyder. And they're like, this guy is great.
Right. So I have an idea. Instead of making Superman, let's make him Batman, but Superman. Yeah.
Instead of making Batman, let's have him kill people for fun.
Well, that makes sense. That's the only thing I
Make sure he puts on his goggles though, because I'm Zack Snyder. All right, housekeeping, Lisa. Time to give us the keeping of the house.
What do we have? What housekeeping? Oh, don't forget to go over and follow Power Performance Yoga. All their socials, and at them and talk to them, because we're trying to get them to be a sponsor. And I've already talked to one of the instructors, and he's agreed to let us come and do one of his hot yoga classes, and he will let us record it if we can get to our, what are we trying to get to? 5,000 subscribers.
5,000 subscribers.
5,000 subscribers on the YouTubes. So please share, interact with us. We've been trying to get better about being on social media. I personally have been leaving plenty of comments talking about how hot the girl is on the show. So if you guys just want to reply to my comment, that's fine.
That girl, Lisa, is so hot.
So hot. I say it all the time. I'm like, yo, that girl's so hot, more of her.
I bet her feet pics are cool.
It's great. It's great. So,
her feet pics are cool.
Anytime y'all want to engage with us, we love it. So we can give us some comments on the videos too, even if it's just to say hey or whatever, because Jason likes to read those and you'll get a shout out. Other Jason down. This Jason. And so, please keep coming. The views are up, right, guys? Like, we're getting more. Yes. Yeah. So we see that you're already doing it. We appreciate the legwork you're doing. We're working on a logo, or we have a logo, right?
Yes. I gotta follow up with him to get the stuff that Jason was talking about with technology technology.
Okay.
I don't understand it. So, you know.
Okay.
Jason's not in the streets. He doesn't know anything
Yeah,
about it.
you don't know.
Yeah.
Back to
Yeah.
The streets of Silicon Valley.
Okay.
You don't know about
So-
blockchain, you may get shot.
Yeah.
So we have seen the new logo, and it is beautiful. It's great. I love it.
That's gonna make you want to slap your mama.
I can't wait to wear it on a shirt or whatever. So, and we're talking about also once we get the logo and some personalized artwork down, we're gonna do merch because I've already had people requesting very specific merch. So we'd love to get that to you guys. And thanks for showing up and supporting us, and we appreciate you guys.
Absolutely. Thank you. That's housekeeping. Like housekeeping is like the church announcements.
Yeah.
You know.
There's going to be food in the rectory when you guys are done.
Yeah, right.
Brother Jason, come over here and say.
Let's go ahead and bless this food.
Jason.
All right. I guess we can go. We're finished. Jason.
All right.
So
you want me to do the thing? Jason,
Yeah,
do you have any closing words for us while you're at it? You know.
Nah, just everybody keep supporting us. Share, send this to a friend, to a friend, to a friend. Let them know that we out here. Shout out to Sweet Brown Sugar Bakery and Grayson and my folks. I forgot I took a video of me in the store. I need to put it up. I was gonna put it in the thread here so we can show it. Just like if Power Performance has any B-reel of the yoga. But I think I saw something online that they were doing. If we get permission to grab it, we can put a reel on it. So as we talk about them, we can show the B-reel of it. But anyway, just support, like Lisa always says, support Black businesses. Hell, just support all small business at this point. We got to stop working with these monsters that are just robbing us blind and not paying their employees. So support the small businesses, Black businesses. And good old Jason. Yeah, I mean, yeah. And if everybody supports Black businesses, then I'll stop ordering from Amazon. But everybody else will start first. I'm not going to be the
If you could make shipping a little bit faster, guys, then we wouldn't have to do Amazon all the time. So
right.
It's not our fault.
If you just, convince the U.S. government to do stuff for you for free, come on, guys. It's not hard.
Yeah. Stop allowing monopolies. Yeah, that thing. Yeah, we should convince them to do that.
Yes, I agree.
All right. But that's it, man. Again, I appreciate everybody. All the love. Respect. We love it.
Look, people, all we need is just 5,000 subscribers, guys. So if you, as one person, get 2 more people, and then they get 2 more people, and then they get 2 more people, then we'll have a MLM, and y'all can all send me money.
It's not a
also, if they,
no, if it's one, they get 2. Yeah. And there's 2 more.
No, that's what the MLMs say now. It's not a pyramid. It's a square.
I mean,
pyramid.
Even if you get them just to hate watch it, be like, oh, this show sucks, and just watch it.
Yeah, we'd love that. Oh my god,
even better.
Yeah.
If you guys find someone who hates our show and does reactions to it, please let us know so we can watch their reaction in real time.
We need a nemesis.
A
nemesis.
Yeah, that's the only way. That's how you know you've arrived.
Yeah, it's like, no, I don't like those guys over there. If we're gonna destroy them, and we're like, yes, competition, capitalism. Thanks.
He's a finger gun. He's a finger gun guy today.
Yes, it is.
Thanks everybody for joining us.
Yes,
it's been a fantastic day and show. We appreciate all the things you do. Please be kind and considerate to everyone. And if you can afford it, tip your servers and bartenders at least 20%, if not more. And Jaron likes Aquafina, so fuck that dude.